What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. So, that no sooner than has expired and the Forbidden and Unlimited list could drop any day now. With that in mind, the Megatins are also on the horizon. August 29th for the OTS stores, and August 30th as a full launch date. And this year, we do know there's different rarities. Each of them will have 12 commons, 1 rare, 1 super rare, 1 ultra, and a prismatic secret. All of the foil cards in this mega pack appear in different rarities than their original 2018 releases. 2 questions. Does Konami consider rares foil, since there's foil on the name? And B, does Konami consider prismatic secret rare a different rarity than secret rare? And if so, that would mean that Konami can still print secrets as secrets. That being said, let's get into my theoretical list of the top 10 cards I would be selling and kicking out of my trade binder for now as the Megatins and Forbidden Unlimited list approach. And if you like this discussion, please use my TCG player link down below in the description. It costs you nothing at all and does support me whenever you're shopping there. And like the video if you enjoy this, we'll do a top 10 cards I would pick up before the Megatins and Forbidden list, assuming we can get it out before the Forbidden list randomly might drop. Now, my only honorable mention here is kind of a market theorio, and that's Chaos Dragon Levianeer. If it's reprinted in rare, I think people will want to keep the secret rares. It's one of those cards I could see Konami holding back for a 100 card set in March, such as Dual Power, Kaiba Collection, etc. And it could just be in the 10s too, but I feel like the secret rare can hold value. I feel like it looks really nice as it is. We didn't get that OCG Ultimate version. But if it's missed from the 10s, it's a card that has a very high ceiling, even if Thunder Dragons get hit, as Guard Dragons might completely survive the ban list. You're into market theory whenever you're talking ban list, but I could see it also missing the 10s. It's just a hunch. It's just a feeling. But Konami's also done a pretty good job of getting all the meta cards lately. So don't necessarily take my advice on that one. And there's a reason it's an honorable mention on the list. It's a kind of coin flip for me. But in the number 10 position is Common Called by the Grave. You already have a super rare variant of this. And at $5 a piece, I would be getting rid of these. Some vendors will sell you the Gold Sark Megatins 2 for $30. So your playset of this could become a Megatin, or you could just go for the singles afterwards with that money. But I think that while you've gotten mileage out of this card, whatever rarity it's put in the Megatins, there will be a huge quantity of them on market, thus tanking this price initially. I could also see Called by the Grave eventually ending up in structure decks and stuff like that, with it being so staple-ish. And you'll have higher foil printings of this, it sounds like, especially since it was named for the Megatins. That feels like prismatic secret rare material to me, since it is in the literal description of selling these Megatins. So with likely 2 higher rarities coming and 1 already guaranteed and a huge quantities coming to market, this will probably go down in price for a bit and be a great pickup when the Megatins come out as well. And my number 9 position is Uwu beat Bladesman for hire. Now, none of you degenerates who have fully hollowed out for hire decks are going to listen to me on this, but if you happen to have extras of these lying around, this is taking the full slot of Savage Strike. Dark Saviors is taking that slot, so I would bet some vampires and some furries are going to end up being sold in the Megatins, and if this is taking resident space up in your binders, it's only up there because it was shorter printed within Dark Saviors, and Dark Saviors became a highly demanded set that was opened a ton, but then left the market. So there's also a little Duel Links hype from the past, right? I would kick these out of your trade binder immediately for the amount of money that they're taking. It's highly likely they'll be reprinted. And the number 8 position is a similar feel. Cyber Dragonseeker and the Cyber Dragon cards out of Saiho are demanding a pretty decent price right now. And if you're a Cyber Dragon player, I respect you a lot more than the for hire players, but also you're unlikely to get rid of these things. You see reprints coming, and we have the legendary decks that you know, put Cyber Dragons in there. We have actually the Cyber Dragon Structure decks reprinted and on shelves right now, with the only money card being Super Poly, which is getting reprinted. But Cyber Dragons are probably on Konami's mind. They're unlikely to miss the 10s, being the name Cybernetic in the set. I see these coming, and you could even get rarity upgrades to Seeger, or it wouldn't look too bad in Super Rare either, and not too many people discern between Ultra and Super. So again, if these are in your trade binder, let them go. You've got your time, use, and money out of them to keep them if you're a Cyber Dragon player, and you're probably not in a rush to get rid of them. Now, in my number 7 position is World Legacy Secession. This pretty much is only up there for its name, World Legacy, and being a kind of reborn card, but most people that are using the IB Synchro to search things are searching World Legacy Guard Dragon. While this can be a combo extender, it's seen its place in a couple of meta decks. Once it gets its reprint and real quantities on the market, it's not going to be holding this $11, $9 price point. It's because it's from Flood, it's because it got a couple of buyouts, it's because of its name and its ability, and no matter what lower rarity there is, I don't think people will be thirsting after, need a drink of this ultra rare, whatever rarity it comes out in. I think it's more for its practicality and uses. Now, in my number 6 position is something you might have got a lot of mileage out of, Nightmare Unicorn. Now, it could get a rarity decrease. It could be less desirable. So I understand if you want to keep your copy of this old friend. We've been through a lot and you've done a lot for me. I understand wanting to keep this card, but if you do have extras, or if you're thinking about it, there's no way that this misses the Megatins. In fact, I think we'll be seeing like rarity upgrades for Nightmare Phoenix and Cerberus, and we could see a super rare version of Unicorn. So even if you're a strickler for like having max rarity, I get rid of it now and just pick it back up unless you're sentimentally attached to your good old Nightmare Unicorn, because the price will fall down. It's mainly up there because it didn't get a reprint along with everything else in Legendary Collection Kaiba. Or that was Dual Power. My bad. Mixing up years here. I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh! Boomer at this point. In my number 5 position is Thunder Dragon Colossus. So nobody really seems to want to hold on to these. The ultimate rares have gone down towards $30. The secret rares are down towards $20, basically the price of the 10s retail. And I think it's still something you want to be letting go, because it's either going to get slammed by that FNL list or slammed by the Megatins. And even if it's a lower rarity, there's already a higher rarity that exists from OTS Pack, because people consider ultimate rare to be highest rarity. So these secret rares just aren't going to dig their heels in the sand and keep their price once there's a lower rarity. It's no Ghost Ogre, it's no Ash Blossom. They're going to be losing their value, and I think you're going to have wanted to get rid of them beforehand. And again, that could be $60 towards singles, not just buying sealed 10s, period. It's something, while it seems cheap for what it was, I know a lot of you might have paid $60, $70, $80 for these things originally. It's time to let go. And the number 4 position is Dangerous Neck, and you know, most of the dangers coming from the 10. It's named as a headliner for the Megatins, and I think that even if it's lower rarity, a lot of people just want access to the dangers. And it wasn't too long ago, everyone was arguing for these to get banned or limited. Like, unfair card design, they're crazy, they're insane. And then bigger problems came up. Cards that allowed us not to play the game at all came up. So they became the focus of FNL list discussions, but the dangers are still crazy value for what they do. They're part of the Danger Thunder deck, and I think they'll survive the next list because they've got to sell the 10s, but after that, they really could be up. I think we'll get a list sometime after all those October events, along with, like, September and October events, along with Dude, where Konami just puts their foot down and like, here's a great ban list that does everything, here's a great set that does everything, enjoy. So dangers could be up for some hits on the list depending on their future use, and depending on how they hit Warcust engines, they might even be using dangers to continue on. Now, in my number 3 position is Sky Striker Mobilize Engage. Wait, John, this is just getting a reprint. Yes, I know. I'm showing the higher price one. The Battles of Legend one currently is $12 to $13. I would be getting rid of both versions, aka not picking up the Battles of Legend one, and here's why. I feel like this is Dragonic Diagram to Konami. Konami put that in Battles of Legend, and they put it in the Megatins. This is likely to receive the same fate. I think it might not get hit on this next FNL list, they'll sell those Megatins and hit it and bop it on the one after. I think this next list will be somewhat minor, and that's still theory-owing list. That's speculation. Whenever you talk about any ban list, you have no clue what Konami will do. But the fact that this is one of the headliners for Battles of Legend, and the fact that Dark Saviors takes that entire Savage Strike slot, I think Konami definitely has the eyes on this for the 10 or a future ban list. One of the two, and I wouldn't pick up these until after that if you're still going for them. And my number 2 position is a card maybe not a lot of you guys have thought of for its value. Vampire Sucker is still sitting at $15 for its unlimited copies. And I think it's only up there because it's a great zombie option. We got the zombie structure deck. It's from Flood. It's been a long time since it's had any kind of printing. And with vampires up for reprints in the Megatins, it's unlikely they'll miss her. So, even with a lower rarity, I think it's more so for her utility that she went up in price in the first place, and I don't think it's equatable to other things that are expensive for their secret rares like Ghost Ogre. I think she's a 1 to 2 of in the extra deck that will be going down in value for zombie players specifically. And the number 1 slot here of the card that I get rid of is Trap Trick. Even with a lower rarity, I do think this will be one of the most sought after cards in the Megatins, and one that Konami's not gonna miss considering how events have gone this year. Even if it's a super rare, I assume that the secret rare will drop significantly in value, and while it could be one of the very first cards that people actually buy out from the Megatins, despite insane quantities, I do think it will have an initial drop in value where you can pick back up the secret rares for what they originally went for, 10 to 12 bucks. So looking at all that extra value you could be getting for free and picking it back up, it does pay to be active with your cards. But that's it from me. Again, it's speculation whenever we're talking about unconfirmed reprints and ban list, so do make your own decisions wisely. And if you did enjoy this video, like I said, use that TCG player link down below, and let me know if you want that top 10 cards I'd pick up before the FNL list / Megatins, and I'll gladly do that for you. Subscribe if you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the conversation, and again, are you more so fans of just keeping these cards that have been by you for a while, you've gotten your money's worth out of them in the mileage, or do you tend to go ahead and start selling them so that you maintain some value and you get these products more so for free value off of the cards? Let me know if you're active or if you just kind of sit back and you're like, nah, I got my money's worth, I'm good. Thank you so much for watching, everybody.